Bad things happen, so God must not exist. Just because two ideas sound connected does not mean one logically leads to the other. Welcome to the world of non sequiturs, arguments that just don't follow. Non sequitur is Latin for it does not follow. It's a logical fallacy where the conclusion is not actually connected to the premises. If you ever find yourself thinking, wait, how did we get from that to this? It's possible it's because the argument you're hearing was a non sequitur. Let's look at a few examples you might have heard so that we can begin to recognize this fallacy. My cat wore a sombrero for 3 seconds, so obviously the moon landing was fake. I've met terrible Christians, so Christianity must be false. That's a comment about behavior, not about truth. It doesn't follow. It'd be like saying, those children are terrible. They must not have parents. There can't be a designer because there's so much imperfect design in nature. This one comes up a lot, but it just doesn't hold up. Anyone who's owned a car knows they're not perfect, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a designer. Science explains certain things, so God must not exist. Explaining how something happens doesn't disprove who caused it. It's like explaining how a Model T was built and then concluding that Henry Ford must never have existed. The universe is massive, so we must be insignificant. That logic simply doesn't follow. If God loved me, he would make my life easy. That doesn't follow either because love and ease aren't the same thing. God never promised ease. In fact, scripture often says the opposite. In this world, you will have trouble. But that's not evidence against his love. It might be evidence of a bigger plan. Back to the original claim bad things happen, so God must not exist. No doubt, the problem of evil is one of the most emotionally powerful arguments against God. But staying focused on today's topic, logically, there's no contradiction between God existing and evil existing. It simply doesn't follow that evil disproves God. In fact, the very idea of evil points toward God because without an objective moral standard, evil becomes just a matter of opinion. Non sequiturs can often feel powerful. They play on emotions, assumptions, or cultural noise. But if we care about truth, we can't just follow feelings, we have to follow logic. The Christian worldview invites reason. In fact, Jesus said the greatest commandment includes loving God with our mind. That means testing arguments, not just for how they sound, but whether they truly follow. So, next time you hear a sharp claim that sounds like a mic drop, pause, ask yourself, does that really follow? If not, you're probably facing a non sequitur because truth doesn't fear scrutiny and real faith isn't built on fallacies. Thanks for watching.